Let's take a look at command line concepts, using ln to create symbolic links in another directory. The ln command, when used with the -s flag, can be used to create symbolic links. Symbolic links, like shortcuts in Windows and aliases in the Mac OS, provide a mechanism for referring to another file. We're going to look at the third form of invoking ln. The first argument is the path to a file that already exists. The second argument is a directory in which you want the new symbolic link created. Something's not right here. The symbolic link is broken. Let's remove the broken link and try again. In the above invocation of ln, we attempted to create a symbolic link in another directory. When we provided the first argument, it was a relative link. This use of a relative link in the third form of ln is the cause of our broken link. There are a couple of possible solutions. The first solution is simply to use an absolute path instead of a relative path. Now, let's remove the symbolic link and figure out how to make a symbolic link in another directory using a relative path. Let's try to figure out why this link is broken. Within the baz directory, license is a symbolic link pointing to kenlm/license. kenlm/license is a relative path. Within the baz directory, what does the relative path kenlm/license mean? Well, it would mean that there should be a directory, a subdirectory, called kenlm within the current directory, baz. And within that subdirectory, there should be a file called license. There's the problem. Is there a kenlm directory inside baz? No, there's not. We just ran ls from within baz, and there is no kenlm subdirectory. The broken link is looking for something that doesn't exist. That's why it's broken. We can confirm this by using readlink to determine the absolute path that the symbolic link is attempting to point to. This confirms that the symbolic link is looking for a file that doesn't exist. /home, /ln2, /baz, /kenlm, /license. So what would happen if the missing file were to be created? Let's find out. To do so, let's create a directory called kenlm within the baz directory. Now, let's use the touch command to create an empty file called license within our newly created kenlm directory. Finally, let's see if our symbolic link is still broken. The symbolic link license in the baz directory is no longer broken. Why? Because the file it was looking for now exists. So, our link is no longer broken, but it's pointing to the wrong file. Specifically, it's pointing to the empty file we just created. That's not what we want at all. Let's remove these dummy files and try again. In order to use the third form of ln to correctly create a link, it's helpful to realize two things. First, ln interprets this first argument as a string. And second, if that string represents a relative path, the file system will interpret that relative path relative to the directory in which the symbolic link is to be created. Recall from above that our broken symbolic link was looking for a kenlm directory within the baz directory. So let's think about things relative to the baz directory. From within the baz directory, what relative path can we use to refer to /home, /ln2, /kenlm, /license? Well, kenlm and baz are both in the home directory. In other words, they have a common parent. We can refer to the parent of the current working directory as ... So from the baz directory, ... /kenlm refers to /home, /ln2, /kenlm. And ... /kenlm /license refers to the file that we want. Armed with that information, let's try making that symbolic link again. It worked. We can use readLink to confirm that the symbolic link is now pointing to the correct file. We have succeeded in creating a symbolic link in another directory using a relative path. To do so, we had to think about the relative path from the perspective of the directory in which the link is being created. It turns out that we can ask ln to do this change of perspective for us. When invoked with the -r flag, ln will create the symbolic link relative to the link location. Let's remove the existing link and give this a try. By running ls-l, we can observe that when the -r flag was passed to ln correctly translated the relative path we provided, ln/license, into a relative path that is correct in the context of the baz directory, /kenlm/license. Calling readLink confirms that the symbolic link in the baz directory is indeed pointing to the correct file, /home/lanes/kenlm/license. This work was created by Lane Schwartz. You are free to reproduce and adapt this work under the terms of the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 4.0 International License.